So hey, yeah, about that big thing in the middle there. What's happened here? Why is everything upside down? Rats! There ain't no one in here after all. But there must be. It was only moments ago that we heard those noises. Maybe that was the sound of Drebber running away. But there's only one door into this room. And no windows that could afford an escape route. Those skylights are too high. Those are footprints. What's that up there? Are they footprints? On the ceiling? Blow me. What have we here then? Looks like someone was trying to burn something in a hurry. Oh, that looks like a set of blueprints. To what? That Professor Hairbrain's bombing machine, isn't it? Blimey. If we'd had these, there'd been no need to muck about trying to investigate all that scrap metal. There is something of great interest here, too. This rope was lying on the floor at the foot of that pillar. A rope? What's significant about that? Never mind. You see, but you do not observe, Mr. Naruhodo. You must investigate the entire room thoroughly, before the forensic investigation team arrives, too. We'll get back to it. There's no denying it, is there? They're footprints. Yes, it would appear so. I simply can't imagine how they came to be here. Isn't there a Susato shoot-up or something? Like a Susato takedown, I mean? I'm no Wonder Woman, Mr. Naruhodo. That would make her almost superhuman, I suppose. How would it even work? It's like Susato mega dropkick and onto the ceiling? Almost every piece of furniture is upside down. Even Mr. Holmes' suite is never in this much of a mess. You're in no position to comment on mess, Mr. Naruhodo. I suppose it's not quite the same thing, is it? I mean, it's not messy in here per se. It's that everything is literally upside down. But why? Mr. Holmes? Have you found something? Ah, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, in point of fact, something rather fascinating. What do you make of this? Let's see. I've never seen anything like it before. Looks like a bundle of thick cigars wrapped up in watch to me, but... Ah! Miss Susato, what's the matter? That's a... surely that's a time bomb, isn't it? What? Did you say? A time bomb? Oh, sorry, but... What is a time bomb exactly? You truly are one of a kind, Mr. Naruhodo. I won't take that as a compliment. Huh. You don't know nothing, do you, Hodo? You haven't got a clue what it is either, have you, Gina? I invite you to consult a dictionary later, Mr. Naruhodo. This particular specimen is no time bomb, though I confess it has a very similar appearance. Oh, well, thank goodness. But then, what is it? I see. So that's it. Goodness, Mr. Holmes, have you seen to the heart of the matter? There are times when I consider my lot most unfair, for I'm fated never to know how it feels to flounder as you do when a puzzle presents itself. But I have learned to accept the hardships that come with being a great detective, Miss Susato. Here we go. I feel a great deduction coming. Okay. Once again, I can draw two conclusions from the scene we see before us. The first is that the inverted nature of the furniture in this room is the work of Drebber himself. Oh, but how could you... And the second conclusion is that the small device on the floor there is, without question, completely genuine. Please, Mr. Holmes, you must explain everything. It would be a pleasure. After all, it is a great detective's civic duty to teach Scotland Yard the finer points of the trade. Yeah. fucking puckered face. Too much lemon on his fish and chips. Well, Mr. Inspector Gregson seems delighted with the idea anyway. Oh, you deflected the inspector's glare with such fortitude there, Mr. Holmes. Well done. You're too kind, my dear madam. I hereby dedicate this great deduction to you. Kindly stand just there, Mr. Susato. Oh, yes, I'd be delighted. So, shall we begin? Once again, Sherlock Holmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Oh. Oh, wow. Alright. I don't remember this whatsoever. It's plain to see that this room is in complete disarray. The bed, the table and chairs, the lamp, everything is upside down. Almost as if every item in this room had, until recently, been happily positioned on the ceiling, before falling straight down onto the floor. Ooh. Every item in this room was on the ceiling? Are you suggesting that... Indeed. Well, that's an interesting, bit of information there. You see it? Do you see it? The key here is gravity. So it would appear that technology has at last succeeded in freeing us from the great pull of the Earth. This is cool as hell! Oh. The gravity in this room was reversed, and then, suddenly restored to normality. Goodness! The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in the whole business. I quite understand your skepticism, Miss Susato. I, too, was incredulous at first. However, my conviction in my analysis was cemented when I observed this. An anti-gravity device, almost identical to the one that featured in a dream of mine only the other day, in fact. Whoa. But then why does it have a clock on it? Most relevant question indeed. That is a timing device that controls when the gravity direction will switch. There was clearly a requirement for the engineer to be able to restore normal gravity automatically. The commotion we heard earlier from the other side of the door was the moment that the restoration occurred. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of that anti-gravity device. So you see, we need look no further to explain the state in which we now find this room. The direction in which gravity acts in here was reversed by Mr. Drebber, before being restored to normality in an automatic fashion sometime later by the timer device. I witnessed precisely the scene in a dream I once had when I fell out of bed. Oh. Alright, where's Drebber? Now, let's consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our heads. Yes, how is it possible that there are footprints all up there on the ceiling? A question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madame. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight. Ooh. Of course, Drebber's aim was singular, to escape. However, there is but one way into this room, excepting the skylight, that is. Ah. Oh. By inverting the gravity in here, Drebber was able to fall conveniently to the ceiling and make his escape via the otherwise inaccessible skylight, leaving those footprints behind on the way. But the ceiling in here is very high, Mr. Holmes. If the gravity reversal was sudden, wouldn't Mr. Drebber have fallen up to the ceiling rather violently? Falling up is both scientifically and philosophically a rather interesting concept, I feel. The man was cornered with nowhere to run, so to escape through the skylight was his only option. You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution. Oh, the rope! To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? By anchoring one end to the wall, the man was able to lower himself safely to the ceiling. Which explains how Drebber was able to escape this room before our arrival. He reversed the pull of gravity and fled via the skylight. And personally, I should very much like to reverse the pull of gravity again now, just for fun. He turns on the timer and the fucking bomb explodes. This concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. I like this, not directly like featuring a culprit or suspect or third party, just solving a puzzle in a very crazy way. What do you think, Toby? Susie? She's completely spellbound. She's living. Mr. Holmes, there's just one thing that troubles me. I would expect nothing less. You're destined to be troubled by just one thing for the rest of your just one thing for the rest of your life. That's like being destined to be troubled by having a pebble in your shoe for the rest of your life. The thing is such a thing actually possible? An anti-gravity device, I mean? I would say that with man's current scientific knowledge at the turn of the 20th century, is no more possible than instantaneous kinesis. But your whole deduction hinges on it! Ah, but my dear fellow, when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth, however improbable it may seem. It's a marvelous line, wouldn't you agree? One of my more enduring pearls of wisdom. I had Iris go with the exact phrasing. My original was, clumsy. I like that. I like that. It's... Yes, I have a feeling. I've read it in something that Miss Susato lent me once. I ironically love that Iris just adapted the line to sound cool.
Objection!
Actually, there is one other thing, Mr. Holmes. Ah, the spell's broken at last. The robe we found was on the floor, wasn't it? Indeed it was, in lonely coils near the wall. But if Mr. Drebber had used it to escape in the way you described, wouldn't it still be tied to the wall? Whoa. Mysteries inevitably unravel in the end. As, I think you'll find, do ropes. As evidence of such, you need only look at the mystery we faced in this room, now skillfully unraveled. Don't know. You're not weaseling your way out of it. That argument is as circular as the coils of this rope. I think perhaps we might need to give Mr. Holmes the usual little helping hand. I'm sure with some minor corrections, the great detective's great deduction will lead us to the truth. Yes, you're right. And we must do it quickly before Enoch Drebber gets too far away. If you're ready, then let us resume. Sherlock Holmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. There's always the thought that he's just like this, but I do like the fact that I feel like he's smarter than he lets on, and she's so excited that he's smarter than he lets on, and he just does like this just to train his companions to notice the shit that he's obviously ignoring. It's plain to see that this room is in complete disarray. The bed, the table and chairs, the lamp, everything is upside down. Almost as if every atom in this room had, until recently, been happily positioned on the ceiling. Or falling straight down to the floor. Every item in this room is on the ceiling. Are you suggesting that... Indeed, the key here is gravity. That's still a fucking cool scene. It would appear that the technology has at least succeeded in freeing us. Has at last succeeded in freeing us from the great pull of the Earth. The gravity in this room is reversed and then suddenly restored to normality. Goodness! And the inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in the whole business. I think gravity could have been reversed in this very room. I find the whole idea utterly enthralling. Only Mr. Holmes could conceive of such an explanation. The man himself admitted it was a scientific impossibility, so... Yes, you're quite right. I must completely discount the idea at once. What's unusually merciless of you, Miss Susato? When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. The great detective himself said so, didn't he? Or refusing to part with his dreams of anti-gravity devices. Yes, I suppose so. Well, let's see if examining this topsy-turvy scene a little more closely reveals some proof that shows exactly what the gravity in this room was or wasn't doing. All the furniture in here is very conspicuously upside down, certainly. Yes, it does immediately put your mind in put you in mind of some strange quirk of gravity, eh? Could it be that a mini whirlwind passed through here, do you think? I'm not sure that's much more plausible than Mr. Holmes' explanation. Oh dear. Saying the first thing that comes into your head is in the way forward, it seems. Breaks the laws of Holmesian gravity theory. And it is technically upside down. Okay, rotate here. Alright, I see what we're getting at here. Look, Miss Susato. When everything seems to be upside down in here, the safe is conspicuously the right way up. Have you noticed? Yes, that's true. Look more closely at the safe's feet. That's a lot of very large bolts fixing it to the floor. Think before you speak, that's what you wanted to say, isn't it? I really put my foot in my mouth there. I certainly didn't say that. It's the only other thing we can actually examine here, so...
Take that!
Clink. Like every other piece of furniture in the room, this safe is not upside down. So a reversal in gravity can't be the reason for the state of this room. Mr. Naruhodo, I implore you to observe more closely. As you can see, the safe's feet is firmly bolted to the floor, saving it from any effects of gravity. Oh, so it is. There is one thing we can learn from your misguided conclusion. Good deduction is no mean feat. Ah! Can we at least make jokes at my expense funny? Yeah, I didn't think that would work, but... Scientifically, we prove it didn't occur. To prove my hypothesis is wrong, the easiest way is just to find an obvious exception. Another good look around. What else can we... Can't actually... Oh, hello. Oh, well, I wasn't expecting to find a pretty bunch of flowers in here, that's for sure. Look at that! I know, that slender little vase looks like it's about to topple at any moment. The flowers are thriving. Somehow it makes you think of the fragility of life, wouldn't you say? To be honest, Mr. Naruhodo, something else about it makes a rather deep impression on me.
Take that!
Bonk. He's looking at it. The upright vase clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, you surpassed yourself by completely turning my argument on its head. Trying to impress your assistant here, perhaps? No one is trying to steal your spotlight here, Mr. Holmes. Trust me. As you rightly say, though it appears at first glance that all the furniture in this room is upside down. This unassuming, slender vase is standing keenly to attention. And unlike the large safe, there is nothing fixing it to the floor. And it's the exception that breaks the rule. In short, much as it pains me, the gravity in this room was never inverted at all. my deepest sympathies for your loss. Oh, poor Mr. Holmes. Well, the show must go on. So, let us continue with our introductions. Whee! Now that we know that this contrivance is not, in fact, an anti-gravity device, there remains but one other possibility. It's actually a bomb. You don't say. Someone deliberately turned over every piece of furniture in here. Which might sound obvious, but leaves one mystery very much unsolved. Namely, why would anyone choose to do that? Quite. And naturally there is an explanation. Yes, the reason why everything here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device that no longer exists. He's absolutely determined that this device must have something to do with it, isn't he? I'm afraid the lure of an exciting scientific explanation is too strong. Oh, there's no doubt that somebody did this. Somebody turned all this furniture over. So whoever it was must have had a reason. I'm afraid nothing comes to mind at all, though. Well, let's look around and see if the answer presents itself. Alright. Gee, I wonder what this could be. Look, there's something written on the underside of this armchair. Oh yes, safe 432582. Safe? As in safe and secure? As in secure lockable box, I think. Admittedly more likely. Well, there is a large safe bolted to the floor on the other side of the room, so yes. So you mean this number would let us open it? I wonder why it's written here, though.
Take that!
Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the safe combination. Precisely. I believe, Mr. Naruhodo, that you had a very similar experience once, didn't you? Yeah, last year. When I bought a lottery ticket and noted the ticket number down on the inside cover of a book just in case. That's it. For people are forgetful souls at heart. I'd always make a written note of important information. Just keeping the ticket itself safe would be more sensible, I think. And what, pray, happened next, Mr. Naruhodo? The day the draw came around, I'd forgotten which book I'd written the number in and had to turn my room upside down to find it. That's it. For people are forgetful souls at heart, and always forget where they've noted things down. Not if you always note things in the same place. I actually won the second prize, you know. But I couldn't remember which magazine I'd slipped the ticket into, so I had to turn my room upside. Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo. What I believe I proved my point. Which is that a very similar scenario has clearly unfolded in this room. Finding himself requiring access to the safe, the occupant of this room and needed the combination code. He remembered that he'd written it on the underside of a piece of furniture, but forgot which one, leading to the state in which we now find the room. Yes, Mr. Drebber overturned all the furniture in here. A desperate hurry to locate the combination code that would unlock the safe. Nice. Solved. Now, let's consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our heads. Yes, how is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there in the ceiling? A question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madame. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight. Well, if a change in the direction of gravity can't explain it, then how did those footprints get there? Yes, I feel as though that particular mystery has just become even harder to solve. Can't think of any other way to explain it at all. Ooh, life was so much simpler in the halcyon days when gravity could be reversed. It was minutes ago, and those halcyon days never existed in the first place. I suppose we must simply put our faith in Mr. Holmes and observe the area in more detail. I think our faith in Mr. Holmes is what gets us into these situations in the first place. What? Why is there a boot up there? This is a gas balloon, isn't it? It's tiny, but it does seem to be a real balloon. Yes, I think you're right. I think it's helium that's keeping it up. A green gas balloon. Does that seem to ring a bell with me? You can see there are footprints on this balloon too. Look. Oh yes, surely that's a clue, isn't it? What it tells us, I'm not sure. Rotate. Look at this shoe. It's hard to believe, but there's a shoe up there. Look. Oh, yeah. There are more footprints on this little balloon, too. Perhaps the shoe was thrown up there and became lodged. Do you think? If so, then judging from the number of footprints, it must have been thrown up several times. Why would anyone be throwing shoes up at the ceiling, though? Oh, dear. That's beyond me, I'm afraid. That's an interesting question. I have no clue what this means. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby shoe. And on closer inspection, there are clearly footprints all over the balloon as well. In other words, the aim was never the skylight at all, but the balloon. But for what purpose? A green balloon. That seems somewhat familiar data. It was a piece of a green balloon's envelope that Mr. Naruhodo and Iris found at the scene. And inside the green balloon that Master Gotts claims he saw above the stage when the incident occurred was the second birdcage, the crux of the whole instantaneous kinesis deception. You mean to say, if we assume the balloon and here's a model of the one we used on that day, there's a strong possibility something may be concealed inside it. Something our absconder was desperate to retrieve before making a hasty getaway. But the balloon's out of reach. That's why he was ordered to a projectile. Namely, the shoe. It was probably Drebber intended to tear a hole in the envelope by a salient with a shoe. However, his efforts were thwarted when the shoe itself became a prisoner of those lofty heights. Okay, that makes sense now. Dear, we desperately need to examine that balloon. Maybe there was some way we could see inside. You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution. Oh, the rope! To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? Interesting conclusion. Mr. Holmes has managed to bring the deduction back to the rope. Alright, I have to admit, that was clever. So we just throw the rope up to the balloon and then pull it down to us on the ground. We need something to hook it with, but it's much easier said than done, I feel. And it could take us a very long time as well. True. Perhaps we need a more surefire method. In fact, we already have one, of course, don't we? Alright. That's a first for us, isn't it? First for us in this game, I think. Although it's been... Wow, to reach the intended destination, what better tool than this crossbow? That was found at the scene, in fact. In all likelihood belongs to Mr. Drebber. The man had only brought it away with him that day. He could have avoided losing a shoe at such a critical time as this. So, shall we? Your curiosity is deeply stirred, no doubt, my dear fellows. What is it that Mr. Enoch Drebber has hidden inside that balloon? Ah! What the? A waxwork? Indeed it is, the missing head, a waxwork head inside a metal mask. A mask that is shut tight and fastened with a strong and quite impenetrable lock. So we can't see the face inside. That means... Just a moment. This is the head of a waxwork model. Does that mean... Oh, goodness! I see you've joined the dots, Miss Susato. Excellent. Ah, of course. A headless waxwork model is the one missing from Madame Tuspel's. The case of the abducted Madame Tuspel's model that you largely solved. It was only the head of the killer that was still missing. Indeed it was. And now, The dispels waxwork theft is firmly tied to our instantaneous kinesis case, but I believe Madame Dispels will now have to settle her sizable account with me. This, as you have now surmised, is the head of the infamous professor. Yes, but why is it here? This conclusively confirms my suspicions. The man responsible for stealing the professor from Madame Dispels, returning it, sans tete, earlier today, was none other than Enoch Drebber. This is incredible. Professor Hairbrain's case and the waxwork abduction they're inextricably linked by Enoch Drebber's workshop. That mask goes hard. So now what? Well, appears our logical pleasure cruise has come to an end, my dear fellows. What remains is, yes, to speak with the architect of this... Ooh! To speak with the architect of this adventure. The architect? You mean Mr. Drebber? It seems quite possible that he escaped by one of the skylights. Obviously the man must still be here in this room. What? And his location should be abundantly clear. If you simply reflect on the journey we've made together during this deduction. No more whimsy, serious Holmes. Enoch Drebber is right here somewhere in this room. Oh, so Mr. Naruhodo, will you do the honors? Yes, of course. Mr. Drebber's hiding place must be the... Yeah... Are you in the wardrobe? We've got two choices. If anyone could release a safe from within, it would be Enoch Drebber, wouldn't it?
Take that!
Before we gained access to this back room, we heard noises from in here, which tells us that the engineer was still in the building at that point in time. He was in fact searching for the combination to his safe, and pressed for time, made no attempt to right the furniture that he overturned in the process, which we can deduce that his search for the combination happened very recently indeed. In summary, Mr. Enoch Drebber is at this very moment inside the safe. This concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. The moment the professor's head showed up, the whimsy was gone and Holmes locked in. So, Mr. Naruhodo, I think perhaps it's time we ended this game of hide-and-seek, don't you? By opening the safe, you mean? What else? Let's see, the combination was 1-432-582. Thank you, Susato. I did that. Alright then, here goes. 1-1-1-1-1-1. 1-1-1-1-1-2. Oh, hi. You found me. Get. Whoa. Razzle dazzle. Oh. Right then, sir. Mr. Enoch Drebber, I presume? Correct. better start talking. You tricked Professor Harebrine with that bogus machine you built. And you shall have to explain the theft of the waxwork from Madame Tuspel's as well. Whilst I would be delighted to answer your many questions, personally, I would advise that you deactivate my little parcel first. Deactivate? Your parcel? It's actually a bomb. I refer, of course, to the time bomb. I had left it in the most prominent position. Ah! Ha ha ha. I see. Stunned silence. You're all gearing up to die with me, then? No! Mr. Holmes! With only 7 seconds to spare! That was too close to comfort. We've got one foot in the grave already! You're trying to help us get a killer? Get us killed! Mr. Sholmes' deductions can be completely life-altering, can't they? Welcome to Sherlock Sholmes' theater of bomb disposal. Well, my dear fellows, that was a close shave. A resemblance to an anti-gravity device is really quite startling, I must say. Do you say? Anti-gravity devices don't exist. Whew, I wouldn't push it, Mr. Sholmes. Okay, anyways. Enoch Drebber. Might surprise you to learn that I'm actually a lawyer for the Empire of Japan. I detest lawyers. They wield so-called special powers in an attempt to grind down our freedoms. Yes, let me be quite clear. I detest lawyers very much. Any chance 2 negatives could make it positive? Fair. I can't believe we were nearly blown up. What was that sideways glance in the aid of, Mr. Naruhodo? I thought that deducing meaning from the movement of people's eyes was your specialty, Mr. Sholmes. Never mind that now. Let's see what Mr. Drebber has to say for himself. There. What on earth happened in here? You found me, haven't you? No need to screw me down any further. Everything in here is precisely what it seems. Yeah, well, we'll be giving it a thorough going over, don't you worry, Drebber. What fails to click with me is how you were able to locate my workshop. That I was not expecting. When I heard whistling from the other room, I knew it was time to bolt. Whistling? Ah, that would have been me. Oh. For some reason, I woke in fine fettle today. No words, just tightly squeezed chips. Clearly I must have a screw loose, though, as I couldn't remember the combination for the safe. Another one loose, as I couldn't remember on which piece of furniture I'd written it down. I also found a rope over by the wall. Yes, I'd hoped to exit through the skylight, but sadly the rope was too short. So I then set about searching for the combination code to open the safe. And burning the incriminating blueprints, don't forget. Guttily, though, you failed to retrieve the head for the balloon among the rafters. Oh, gotcha there, eh? And after that, you hid yourself inside the safe, having first set this parcel ticking. Well, I had no intention of being nailed by the police. Or a death wish, have ya? Riding right beside a ticking time bomb. Please, why do you suppose I chose to hide inside the safe? It's no ordinary safe. It's specially designed. A dynamite explosion wouldn't leave a scratch on it. So in fact, the safe was the only safe place. Precisely. But once you'd climbed inside, you wouldn't have been able to get out again. I invite you to look more closely. The safe is fitted with a handle on the inside to allow the door to be unlocked from within. Ah, so it is. I I had always intended to blow this place to smithereens. Smithers, in any case. I just wasn't expecting uninvited guests to come along and screw up my plans. You mean to say you were planning to blow us all up? No. That was unforeseen. What do you mean? Most people run, you see, when they see a ticking time bomb at their feet. I calculated the time required for retreat to a safe distance, then set the device accordingly. But you're seemingly end this discourse in here through a spanner in the works. He's actively trying not to kill us. That's intriguingly speaks to his character in an intriguing way. Something wrong, Gregson? Do I have something on my face, besides the usual eyes, ears, nose, and mouth? Yeah, Gregson is judging you. I think we have a fairly good idea of what's been going on here now. What about the 2 incidents you've evidently been involved in recently? Professor Hairbrain's instantaneous kinesis experiments at the Great Exhibition. And the waxwork model you stole, which this head belongs to. That's no ordinary head, you know. That's the head of the professor. Clad in a mask with a lock so strong I wasn't able to open it safely to reveal the killer's identity. I've been considering carrying it around as protection. After all, that's enough. What's going on here, Gregson? I'm sure you're aware that I have sole jurisdiction to investigate here. Yes, well... Dr. Sith again. So the forensic investigation team are here. And you know full well this engineer is a key witness. Why are you allowing this lawyer access to him? If Lord Strongheart knew of this, you'd be finished. You lot, leave at once. My dear madame, there's no need for such a threatening tone, I assure you. After all, that's no way to greet an old acquaintance, is it, Dr. Sith? Hello, Sholmes. Dr. Sholmes knows Dr. Sith. If it's protecting the machine next door that's causing such a sour expression on your face, you are quite misguided. It's really nothing more than a shell, you... Get out! But of course, we'll show ourselves the door. I see you haven't softened at all. Mr. Naruhodo? Yes? It would appear that our delightfully entertaining investigations have run their course for today. But, Mr. Sholmes! Let us leave this place in the doctor's capable hands. I said get out! Now! All of you! Your presence here is not required either, Gregson. Understood. I'll just say one thing before I head off. If it wasn't for this lawyer and his companions, we'd never have found this place, and the whole workshop would have been blown to bits. There's a time bomb sitting here, and his lot disarmed. Inspector. Someone giving you a chuckle, has it, Drebber? Ah, so sorry. Didn't mean to offend. You're quite right, of course. Well, you did disarm the time bomb, didn't you? What? Yes, you did disarm that one, Gina. Huh? What do you... Where did you get that? That one? You mean... Oh, shit. What? How? Why? Oh, God. It was an hour later that we heard the news of the enormous explosion that ripped through the experimentation stage at the Great Exhibition. It was our Hairbrain's invention, all its secrets, blown away forever.